It's called Smut. Give me smut and nothing but a dirty novel I can't shut if it's uncut and
Daniel Day-Lewis.
When we get another guest, we're gonna have to come up with another phrase.
No,
Paul
I think it should
Daniel Day-Lewis is Sean.
Oh, I love Paul Dano was in There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, it needs to be a link.
Paul Dano is too short for a good.
Let's see.
Daniel Day-Lewis has a long enough name that you can truly do a sound check with.
The Last of the Mohicans.
Yes.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
There we go.
The Phantom Thread. I want it all to be within the
Phantom Thread.
I like that. But I like that it's always connected.
Yes. It's never not about Daniel Day-Lewis.
No. 9.
Is he Sir Daniel Day-Lewis? No.
I think he is.
He should be if he's not at
Daniel,
work.
if you're listening, can you let us know if you were Sir'd or not?
Yeah,
He
number
needs
one
to be.
fan of Femmes Reading Phil, Daniel Day-Lewis. Could you pause your woodworking?
someone
Number
tweet
2
it
fan, Niall Horan from One Direction.
If someone could tweet at Daniel Day-Lewis for us.
I think
Should we
probably
get a Twitter?
He doesn't have a Twitter.
I've never checked.
I don't know if Femmes Reading Phil is like a Twitter show.
I don't.
It just feels like the easiest way to get a hold of celebrities.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because it's direct. But here's a podcast thought. In respect of DDL,
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis,
Right.
sexiest actors above 60, go.
How old Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah, I need to Google how old certain actors are.
I
so
thought
can
he was
say.
over
He's
60.
65. Yeah,
Boom,
you're right.
boom.
You're right.
Amazing.
I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I know that my mother would say George Clooney without even taking
My
a
mom
breath.
too. My mom is deeply in love with George Clooney.
I
but-
think all moms are. I think it's a rite of passage for
A
moms.
fun fact: I was almost I almost grew up in LA because my dad had 2 offices he almost transferred to, one in LA and one in Chicago. And the house we were going to live in was apparently right next door to George Clooney's like manager or something.
Ooh.
And my mom apparently for months after was like, "You kept to my dad was like, you kept me from George Clooney on purpose."
Fucking rude.
It was so fun. I'm googling actors over 60.
But I'm saying like smash at the current age.
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just googling.
Oh, it's tough.
Oh, there's so many. Hold on.
It's tough because at probably 10 years ago, Kevin Kline would have been my
Ooh,
answer
interesting.
because I love him. But
He's
right
still not
now,
bad looking.
it's probably going to be. I mean, it would probably be like, it'd probably be Harrison Ford.
I was gonna say, do you want to hear what mine is?
Harrison Ford.
100%.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford is definitely one.
I love him.
Harrison Ford
Harrison
is 80.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what?
Harrison Ford is up
and
there.
you know what?
He is up
Still
there.
smash.
Yeah, fair.
Because he'd get all angry probably during it.
Denzel Washington is still incredibly handsome.
Yes.
Oh
true.
yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
One of the first ones that came up just for actors over 60 was Michael Caine.
I saw that too.
I love that smash, but he's 89, and I was just like, he's so
Michael
old.
Caine.
Oh wait, there's an IMDb list. Hot male actors over the age of 60.
Yes, do it.
Yes.
Okay, guess. Oh wait, is it ranked? It's not ranked. No. We got Tony Bennett, 96. Oh my
96?
There's so much. I want to know who made this list. It was like hot.
Ooh, you know what? Richard Gere. He is still hot.
I could see that. Not my cup of tea. Not my bag of bones.
I was just looking at
but-
this one picture of him, and I was like, okay, sir.
I mean, Robert Redford,
still hot.
still hot.
Nah. I never found him very attractive.
Who do you have other than Harrison Ford, though?
Do I need anyone else?
You
besides-
set this. You set this challenge.
Yeah, pick
I
someone
need-
else.
I need
I
you
need to see. Can I see the list with you?
No. It has to be off the top.
Alan
of your head.
Rickman. Alan Rickman is on this list. He should not be.
How old is
He's
Jason
dead.
Statham?
Tony.
Fine.
Honestly, Ted Danson.
I have to
Oh,
find
yeah, I'd
him.
see that.
Oh yeah.
Gen,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
What about how old is Jeff Goldblum?
Okay, Jason Statham's
Oh,
55.
that's a good question.
Close.
Hold on. Jeff
I think
Goldblum.
he's got to be over 60.
Right? This is thrilling
He's
podcast
70.
content.
Oh.
While we
Oh my
just,
God.
we just
Done.
silently
Done.
Google scroll on our
Yeah,
phones.
Jeff Goldblum.
That's
Jeff
it. We're not,
Goldblum.
everyone's in agreement with
Heartbeat.
Jeff.
There
and
we
you
go.
know what?
In a
Because of that lovely, we all decided on that. I'm gonna say welcome to Femmes Reading.
Thank you. Welcome to Thanksgiving Gold, and specifically, welcome to our number one fan, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
I thought it was Daniel Day-Lewis.
Well, Daniel Day-Lewis and Jeff Goldblum
And then
are now
they
tied.
they like to listen
Yeah.
together and then
because
debrief.
Jeff Goldblum has, I'm sure, a thing where he heard us just now say that we would all smash
Yeah.
him, and something in his brain went.
I think he must have just pings all the time because who isn't thinking about banging Jeff
Oh, yeah.
Goldblum?
Have you guys watched that show where it's just Jeff Goldblum tries
No.
things?
I have seen some of it.
It genuinely, it's delightful, but but it's so much Jeff Goldblum that I had to stop after one episode because it was almost too much. Like he was too fascinated by stuff, and it was
so
overwhelming.
My
to me.
lovely cousin got married this past year, and I went to her bachelorette party, and she had a cardboard cutout of Jeff Goldblum.
What era Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, that was Jurassic Park.
I mean,
Jeff
that's
Goldblum?
I think that's her preferred.
Or The Fly, Jeff Goldblum.
I think preferred is Jurassic Park.
Ragnarok.
I think that honestly, Smash and
That's a
Ragnarok.
hot
Absolute
Goldblum.
smash.
But I think it was an older of cardboard.
Okay.
cutout. I
I
think
love
it was
that.
like Silver Fox.
I mean, he has honestly, his style is incredible.
Yes.
Like, it's not necessarily his face that attracts me, it's his style and
wait.
his vibe.
Who
It's
did
the
I-
hair and the glasses?
who did I say the wrong name? John Slattery.
John Slattery? Like,
Smash.
from Mad Men?
Smash.
Yes.
Oh,
He's-
I agree with
yeah,
that.
I'll take
100%.
it. I'll take it.
Absolutely. So, listener, this is a kind of a sad day, despite the upbeat beginning that we just
Yeah.
gave you, because it is Sean Buckley's last episode.
It is the season
It is
one
the end of our first season.
finale.
Listen, guys, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Am I right?
Don't cry
Yeah.
out loud.
Don't
Keep it inside.
She's looking at me with her beautiful bangs.
And she's
I got
tears.
bangs.
She's sobbing,
I
guys. She's
am.
she's weeping
I'm openly.
uncontrollably.
I was just never gonna see you guys again.
No, we'll never talk to you after
We're
this.
not. It's in the contract. That
We were using you.
We did write a
we were using you
contract.
for the fame and the fortune, and
Yes.
now that's over, and we have to go our separate ways.
Tragic misstep.
But
have much.
because it's the season finale, we didn't do a trope because how can you end a season with just one trope?
No,
Therefore, we're talking about all of them.
Yay!
we're gonna play some games.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
beautiful.
Yeah.
We're in sync. We're gonna play 2 games.
JC.
Specifically. What in the world?
What did you
Your
just
Lance.
say? She
Your
just
Lance.
quietly whispered, "I'm JC."
Because we're in sync.
Oh my god. And so, as you've heard, we can get a little unruly and get off topic. So
I don't know what you're talking
some
about.
of the key stuff to know for these games is because Sean is our guest, she is the official referee. She can tell Emily and I to shut the fuck up at any point, which
love
will
this
probably
power.
be necessary.
Yeah.
But we thought it would be fun to do a bracket style battle
fun.
royale of the tropes.
Cool. Okay.
So the way it's going to work is Emily has put the tropes that we've covered in our last 8 episodes in a floppy hat because she couldn't find a normal hat, and then she forgot that bowls existed. So it's in a beanie.
I don't know
type
why.
thing.
I don't know why you're hating on this beanie because
So dumb.
It's really dumb.
I forgot a bowl was a thing.
Well,
I use bowls for eating, not for brackets.
Yeah,
It just
so
reminds
they're-
me of I couldn't find paper, so I just found some Kleenex.
I,
And I was like,
I wrote it on the Kleenex. But yeah, so there's a floppy hat full of Kleenex on this counter. And
I will get a bowl if this is going to
it's
be
fine.
offensive.
We'd
to you.
rather shame you.
And Emily and I
you.
are going to each pull one, and then we are going to have to
Oh, cool.
recap the trope
Yeah.
and say why we think it is the best trope.
Okay.
And then Sean, you will decide which one is the winner,
Okay,
and we will
okay.
continue on bracket style until we have the winning trope of the season.
I love this. Okay.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do like a
Cool.
Even though none of us do March Madness, or at least I don't.
We are very sport.
Yeah, we are so
If
sport.
we proved
We are.
anything in the last episode,
We are much
know
sport.
Yes. A fun fact, I actually won one of my March Madness things in college. Yeah. So the world can hear. I based on which mascot I thought was the best.
Oh, that's fun.
And I won.
I like that.
So before we get into our bracket, any questions or concerns, Sean?
No.
Anything? Okay.
I feel good.
And we wrote, so it's just the tropes. It's not the books
I
or
figured,
stories. So obviously there's only 8 of them. We will clearly state them, and we can say what books were from them if we need.
Yeah. If we remember, I'll pull up my notes.
Yeah, I should. So when I made these, I initially wrote all the stories down because I forgot what we
Yeah,
were
for sure.
doing. And I was like, I did it. And she's like, you did the tropes, right? I was like, fuck.
Nope.
So-
Nope. No, I didn't.
no, I didn't. So
Nope. All right.
just got to pull up the Instagram because
Again.
if you follow us on Instagram, you can see all of the stories that we've read.
Yeah.
In our
With pictures.
in our
Interesting.
Instagram.
So excited.
Let me get this floppy hat.
It's just
Such a good
bag.
hat.
It's a bag.
It's a bag.
Well, the elastic fell out of it. Okay. It's my favorite hat. Go
All right.
on.
I pulled Office Romance.
I pulled one bed, baby.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Sean.
Yes.
Office Romance.
Okay. I'm ready.
Forced proximity. If you remember, we covered with Emily's story, we covered like the boss employee dynamic. I know you didn't like that man.
I hated it.
I know you hated that man, but don't let that hurt the trope for you. Because think of my fic.
It was great.
With the post-its and the wonderful like media sharing back and forth. So I think the real strength of the office romance is not only the forced proximity and the tension, but the fact that if it weren't for office romance, you would not be living with.
I knew you were going to say
your partner today. You wouldn't have your dog together, and your life would be great because we would still be around, but not as shiny as it is now that Joe is in your life.
You can't guilt me into thinking that just based on my own life.
But you should know from your own experience that office romance works. It's a wonderful vehicle for tension because you have to be professional. You have to have your professional side, but then there's something deep inside you that feels sexy, and
I'm so fucked when
it feels sexy, and you're like, oh, but I gotta keep that pushed down. But then eventually you can't keep it pushed down, and you want to kiss their face somehow, somewhere.
This is so fun.
And I think that's the real strength of the office romance is it forces people to contend with the sexy part of themselves in a way that they didn't plan on, but man, is it fun. And also it creates an opportunity for shenanigans.
It sure do.
Which we do love we love a shenanigan, we love a back and forth, and we love a supportive friend who's a fellow coworker sitting at a desk near you going, I bet that's going to happen.
We do love that.
Sean... yes.
No,
I was going to ask you, do you have any questions for me about office romances? That would help?
do not. I was just going to see if we should turn it over to Emily for her side.
All right, Emily.
Keep that in your brain.
It's in my brain.
Because here it comes.
I'm ready.
The one bed,
The
baby.
one bed.
I will also say Jessica is so eloquent, and I get so excited, so I don't know if this is going to come out.
I was like, she hasn't stopped talking. I'm
know.
so impressed.
Here we go.
That's
One
why I
bed.
named
How does
you
one
referee.
bed make you feel? It makes you feel like this. Ooh. Because you know what it is? It's forced proximity. Sometimes it's a cave, but usually it's a bed at an inn. You're on I'm tired. I'm on a quest with this angry guy who's probably my guard, but we have to share one bed, and their pinkies touch. And you know what else happens? Pillow talk. They really like get to the down and dirty of their feelings because it's dark and it's easier to tell your like true feelings when it's dark. Vulnerability happens. You know what happens in one bed? A relationship builds in one bed. You know what else happens in one bed? Tickle fight. play wrestling, okay? If I could stand up and walk around, I would. I am fired up. Oh, it just makes every event better. Like we're at a wedding, we're so drunk. Like I'm happy because this was Make It Sweet, and this
Absolutely,
was also Stranger Things.
Indeed.
And you know what? It just accelerates the relationship that you like was there, but it was like on its last legs. Like who knows what's gonna happen? Boom, one bed. Immediately in love. Boom, sex. Because boom is sex. Boom is sex. Boom is sex. Do you have any questions about one bed?
I don't have a question about the trope, but I would like for you each to provide to me what you think is your favorite or best example of that trope in a movie, TV show, or book. And it can't. So not my life. Cannot be my life.
And it can't be the
what we
stuff that
said?
we talked about. in the
Something
previous
outside of that. I think like what is like your favorite, or what do you think makes it like? What is an example that was made better by the existence of that trope?
I mean, I have to rely on the classic Pam and Jim from The Office.
Absolutely.
Like if it wasn't for the Pam and Jim
This is
storyline, that show would not have been as popular as it ended up being.
would
Even
fall
though it is
apart.
brilliant and very
True.
funny, The Office romance saved that show because it is so cute and fun and full of tension.
It would have fallen apart. You're
It
right.
would have. And were Pam and Jim problematic in the end? Yeah. And we can acknowledge that now. But did we enjoy it every step of the way? Absolutely.
I can't believe I'm going to burn this on the first one, but Akatar.
Yeah,
I've got to
that's a good
burn
point.
it. It's great. The sexual tension in the books is so wonderful. And then when it gets to a point where a certain couple has to share one bed, it elevates this relationship into a next level. And it gets the reader
hard.
so excited.
Yeah.
And again, you know what it makes you do? It makes you go like this. So that would be my thing.
This is so hard.
So, no one's feelings are going to get hurt. This
I
is a bracket.
know.
We
I
got
just love
a
them
bunch
both.
more.
I think truly based on just which trope I enjoy reading more, I'm going to go with one bed.
Boom,
One
baby.
bed. The Pam and Jim almost swayed me there.
I know.
Because that's so true.
I mean, in Superstore as well.
Oh, you're right.
I know.
But damn it. Hold on. No, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with my gut.
You can change it. It's your bracket.
I'm going with Office Romance.
Parks and Recreation.
so
also.
you
fucking.
So you are going
Office
with,
Romance.
okay.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I wrote in a pen.
Have you seen that?
Think of all the Paul
Have you
Scheer
seen-
vehicles.
Have you seen? Okay, Office Romance.
Okay, so Office Romance is the first one. Next pair, Jess, pick.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Let me help you with this floppy hat.
I got royalty / tall, dark, and handsome.
Oh,
I got reverse harem.
Okay,
All right, I
all
think
right.
you should go first.
You start.
Okay.
You start.
What's better than having one man, multiple? Reverse harem here, ready to take you away.
Sounds like you're doing like an infomercial. Just like, hey guys.
You ever wanted one boyfriend who was happy, one boyfriend who was angry, and one boyfriend who just wanted to feed you? Well, look no further than a reverse harem.
Reverse harem.
No, it's fun. It's exciting. Like, yes, we always want to OTP. Like, that's our go-to.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? If the main character is happy with it and all the men are happy with it,
Yeah.
then we really support a fruple, which is
frupple.
4. No,
We do indeed.
Thruple is 3, fruples 4.
Or a fripple, which is 5.
And you know what else this was a gateway for me? Rock and roll romances.
This is true.
This was, you know, I've always had an issue with them, but the fact that it was a whole band, that they were cohesive, that they wrote music together, that they were angsty and angry.
Absolutely.
Very fun, very positive. A lot of sex because, you know, one guy just won't do it and the girl might get tired, but just kidding. In a book, she won't ever get tired.
No, her
But
vagina
there's
is infinitely
guy,
ready.
Every guy has a different style. So, you know what? If you're not into like the sweet, like caring, maybe kind of vanilla stuff,
Turn
the
to your
next guy,
right.
the next guy is gonna be like, call me daddy. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
and then
yeah.
the next guy is gonna be like, actually call me
Sir?
maybe. I don't know. But there's a style for everyone, and it's all about consent, and mostly, and we're not talking about den of vipers, and yeah, that's reverse harems.
I love it.
Okay, so I have a challenge because I am basically 2 tropes smashed
This
together.
is true.
For this.
This is true.
So we're gonna cover royalty / tall, dark, and handsome.
Okay.
Royalty. Again, shenanigans, but
Absolutely.
specific shenanigans of the elevated. You get a lot of shenanigans in one. You get rich man, wealthy man, and the libraries and jewels that come with that, which can be very sexy. You get limousine things, lots of
Limousine things, eh?
Limousine like a black car, like a
think we know
private
exactly
jet
what
or
you're talking
whatever,
about.
you know.
Yeah.
And then you combine that with a very tall man. And Sean, as a tall woman, I know that you appreciate a tall man.
Listen, Jess's strategy of bringing it back to me is working.
If I knew we were playing dirty,
I mean,
it's your podcast.
but there is something wonderful about a tall, dark, and handsome man. And I know that we all slightly disagreed about what that
actually was.
oh my God, bringing that back.
But we did not disagree on the fact that it is sexy.
Correct.
When a brooding dude decides that you're the only one that he wants to
Oh,
spend
God.
time with, especially if he stands to inherit a country one
You know, that does help.
day. Yeah. You're the special one, and you also will be the Princess of Genovia one day or something. So I think even though it is a lot of tropes smashed up together, there is something to be said about just the elevated, elegant nature that can be royalty, tall, dark, and handsome.
This is true. All right, I have my vote. For this round, I'm going with reverse harem.
Okay.
And I think specifically it is because it is a more like unique trope to my experience. And I think I like that it kind of like you were saying, it like invites a lot of different relationship dynamics into play. And while that intimidates me as a reader, I think it's a really cool storytelling method.
I'm sorry
Nice.
that my ice for my Starbucks.
yeah, we are drinking
love it.
iced coffee this time,
Yeah.
so we are fired.
So for the
up.
first time, we're not going to be getting tipsier. We're going to be getting louder.
louder and faster. But no, I appreciate that, especially given I was the only reverse harem reader at the beginning of this podcast.
No,
I know,
think
and now look at us.
it's a really cool trope that I just like. I think based on the way it's like described, it sounded more just like, yeah, they have a lot of sex, but it's also like there's an emotional component to it, and I love that.
If it's written well, there
And-
can be. Pull
Okay.
mine. Did you pull yours?
Yes, I did.
I'm ready.
Fake dating.
Knife play.
Okay.
You go first this time.
I
please.
know. I really like knife play,
I
but
love
I'm
knife play.
going to do my best.
I'm really thrilled that Emily is the one arguing for knife play. I
Yes,
love
me
this.
too.
I like the challenge of it because yeah, obviously if it was reversed, you guys would be like in your sweet spots. But this is
This is more of a thing.
yeah, I love this.
Okay, fake dating. So I think what I love most about fake dating is the potential for an enemies to lovers.
Absolutely.
As part of the fake dating. And I love the striking of a deal, the making of a plan. And I know I've already talked about shenanigans, but this is a specific type of shenanigan.
Keep getting shenanigan
This is a driven shenanigan.
You love shenanigans.
This is a shenanigan with a goal, and I like a goal.
I get that, yeah.
And what I think is the sexiest about fake dating is, again, the okay, we're giving everybody else this performance, this whatever it is, similar to Office Romance, but in our true selves, in our heart of hearts, we know that what that person just did was sexy, and I pretended that it was sexy, but also it was a little bit sexy.
Yeah.
And I love the angst of it. Also, that fake dating does lend itself as well to the who hurt you trope.
No, I love that.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good one of I have to pretend that I'm chill, but also I'm actually concerned about you and I have to hold it together. I love it when somebody is trying to play multiple roles at once because it is hilarious.
It's so fun.
And also a perfect vehicle for feelings.
shenanigans and
angst.
feelings.
And shenanigans. Shenanigans. Feelings. Shenanigans. Feelings.
Penis, vagina,
Penis. Vagina. And so yeah, I think fake dating speaks for itself, but
It
also
does.
I'm gonna cut it short because I'm so excited to hear what Emily has to say about knife play.
Take it away, Emily.
You want to talk about enemies to lovers? You want to talk about angst? Look no further than fucking knife play. The trope that arguably started this whole podcast.
It quite literally did.
Think of this. All this time and fun and happiness may not have happened without knife play. Maybe our friendship would not have been as strong. I'm just kidding. Our friendship would still be quite.
I was like,
quite
you
strong.
really want to bring that into play?
I'm using everything in my arsenal. Think of this like, oh, it's dark, it's exciting, it's something new. It's a way to get your feelings out as well through your blood.
You should try to relate knife play to my life.
Oh, okay.
I'm just offering that as.
Ooh, trying something new. But honestly, it's about trusting your partner.
Yeah,
It's about
absolutely.
talking. It's about communication. We love a good, easy communication.
We do love that.
Even though the book I read was a little bit of a dub con, it was still a like kind of consensual thing between them. They got on equal footing with it.
For sure.
It also lends itself to the protector, possessive, guardian type of trope, which honestly is very fun to read sometimes.
It can be, yeah.
And for me, all the time, I do love that trope. I love the idea of someone being like, "You're mine, I'm marked," like
Yeah,
usually in a fated mates werewolf kind of thing. That's like with a bite. But for those of us who aren't werewolves, and I guess that's a few, knives are like the teeth of humans.
And can I just say,
Yeah.
you talked about a lot about how knife play, a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Fake
Interesting.
dating,
Yeah.
fake
Oh, yeah.
dating, absolutely no communication. It's
true.
None.
Yeah,
that's true.
No
the whole
one's
point.
saying anything about anything to
You
each
know
other.
where there's no shenanigans? Knife play. Because there is no room for
There's no room
shenanigans.
for shenanigans when there's a knife in the room.
Because you know what? There's no time for a shenanigan when you're talking about what you want, which is to be marked by your person.
I think I
But
can cut
it's
you off.
dark-
I have my vote.
okay.
It's okay. I'm sorry. It's fake dating. I love fake dating. I love fake dating. It has, like you said, it has enemies to lovers, one of my faves. And yes, knife play does, but I think I don't enjoy the possessive trope nearly as much. Like I
mean,
can do
if
little
you
bits
go back
of it.
and listen to
Yeah.
that, we are not into it.
Oh
Like,
no,
we
I
don't
know,
ever
I
wanna
know.
try it.
But I know that's a big part of it, and that obviously
Yes.
was kind of the selling thing for me, where it's like I can do a little bit of the possessive, where it's like it's in the realizing that you really want this person kind of possessive, but the like marking your mind is just not my bag.
Yeah. Okay.
So fake dating.
Got it. All right.
last
one.
See
one.
what's left.
Last one.
I was looking through, because we're writing these down,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
looking through, I go, I wonder what I would have chosen.
I got sports. I got Mercedes.
Oh my god.
Both of my
Both
favorite
of
ones.
your favorite ones.
I love it. All right.
Sorry, let me write this down.
Who started last time? So
I
Emily.
started,
Emily
so now it's
starts.
Emily.
Well, looky here. Hold on. Mercedes.
You got the first and the last knife play and then sports.
I know. Look at
love it.
that. Okay, let's see. I'll try and do sports as a whole, but my true love is hockey. I love the physicality of the people who play the sports usually. Because if you're attracted to someone who's like a little more muscular, not like a big fat muscly guy, but like lean, strong. The description of bodies in sports romances are so fun
true.
and really good to get a picture of who is playing. I like that we explored some new things for me on the queer spectrum and on the straight spectrum.
This is true.
It works both ways. We love that there's a teammate thing involved. Like there's always going to be able to be multiple stories or really fun side characters. Because yes, while there is shenanigans, it also goes along with fake dating. It also goes along with only one bed sometimes. A lot of these tropes go into sports, but it's really fun to just have fun banter on the side when people are doing drills and, trying to stay in the line. And
really
we're all
here.
getting mad about the coach and we're all having a good time. But also, is that her in the stands?
Yeah,
Is she watching me play? And then, the girl usually, because I'm usually watching I'm reading a straight one. She's like, I will never, he's so passionate. The passion that they show while playing their sport
She really
is so
selling me here.
fun.
Yeah.
Not also to mention locker room hookups, shower scenes, or there's always going to be a date in like a hockey romance where they go ice skating somehow.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
true.
super cute. It's intimate. You're going to be holding hands. So it's nice that they can have these like kind of rough scenes if they really want to, if that's what the character leaned towards. But there's always going to be like an intimate moment as well where they're trying to date or they're trying to do something just the two of them. And usually, I'm going straight for hockey, it's going to be holding hands and helping them skate and like learning about each other, because you know what, the sport is what was passionate about them and they want to share that with the person that they are dating.
I love
That's
it.
really nice.
I love that. All right, over to you.
I wrote notes.
Oh my God.
Mercedes. First of all, wonderful for the tall small, for the sunshine grumpy.
True.
All of that is very present. But then the other amazing thing is it leaves room for the badassness of Our Lady, our Persephone, our heroine, to come out. In a lot of ways, it is a coming into her power story. In a lot of things, like Emily's book, where she like had to do the trials, and even in mine, even though it was the one chapter Ted Lasso one,
It was empowering.
it was empowering. So a lot of it is very powerful, and I like that it supersedes the like original myth where she's kind of just snatched.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And so it's a lot of it is, she becomes the queen of death.
Yes,
and
which we
that is
love.
very powerful. And she comes into her dark power, and he learns the power of being able to make flowers grow and the lighter things. And they teach each other stuff. And I think there's something really, really beautiful about the fact that this is a myth that has existed for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, but it is a story that has persisted and continued, and people have found inspiration and spun it off. And Emily did a whole degree about it. She did a whole master's degree about how these stories won't fucking die because they're so powerful and so amazing that you just have to use them, and you can find elements of the human experience in every single aspect of it, even if it's also something where the main focus is that they bang eventually. And I think that is really beautiful because it is a never-ending story. And that is my pitch for Mercedes.
Wow. This was a hard one, guys, because truly, I went into this being like, it's going to be Mercedes. And then sports, I was like, you are swaying me to sports. But I am swinging back. I'm going to go with Mercedes. Yeah. It is a tale as old as time, and it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is a tale as old as time.
But dang, you really had me with sports. I was like, it was
You
close.
did good.
It was
did good.
close.
And if only I had Mercedes. But maybe we'll get it this time. Okay, so now, second round.
Okay, what did you get?
I got fake dating.
I got office romance.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be hard. These are very closely linked.
They are very closely linked. Okay.
Fake dating. Do you want shenanigans? I mean, listen, we've already done a deep dive on these things. I think I'm going to go for the attack though. Think of it in opposition to Office, okay? It's not always going to be a power struggle. It's something that people are on equal footing. They both need something from the other usually in fake dating, okay? And they're going to help each other out, whether they are friends first or enemies first. That's true. It is an equal playing field, which is not a normal thing that people read a lot in romance. There's a lot of power dynamics in a lot of romance books. And fake dating is something that is a broad spectrum, if you will. It's really fun. It's the same thing with, I know I said this for sports, but always going to be fun side characters that are like, what are you doing? And they always have to justify it. It's finding a lot of ways to justify the things. And fake dating is very fun. And let's see, what else?
That can be it.
That could be it, yeah. I'm
was
going to go
great.
a little shorter since we did deep dives on them.
Yeah.
All right, office romance, round 2.
I'm ready.
You know what fake dating is not? Realistic. Office romance, however, allows for a realism And like it does allow for pining, and it allows for all of the fun things about the trope where you're like, ooh, will they, won't they, and all of that stuff, and shenanigans, as we pointed out many, many times. But it can also be a true to life blueprint of consent and communication in a way that you don't usually get with romance novels. So it can allow for that realism, which I really like. And fake dating isn't a thing in the way that office romances are. And I like the groundedness that can come from an office romance, and a true slow burn, because it's a slow burn because you're like, oh, this could actually be real. And it's not a slow burn because you're like, oh yes, they went to a Christmas party and their aunt is there, and there's also only one bed.
And you know what else is happening, though? They're supporting each other. They're helping each other.
They're supporting each other in office romance as well because they work together, and there might be a big presentation coming up.
Oh, are they? Are they just supporting each other that way or emotionally? Because fake dating is usually emotional.
But in an office romance, usually there's a moment where there's the tension, and something happens at work. Like somebody's ex shows up and it's really jarring, or somebody blows a presentation or loses a client, and then the other person goes and comforts them, and then they realize that they have a connection.
You know where that happens as well? Fake dating. Oh, is that an ex-boyfriend with a girlfriend? I'm going to show him up. Hand on the lower back. Sexy dance in the club. Let's go bang in the truck that's actually not a truck. It's an SUV.
Yes, but your realism is based on jealousy. Mine is based on comfort.
Which is also a hit song by Nick Jonas. Think about it.
All right. Escapism wins. I'm going with fake dating.
Okay.
All
and then
right,
I love
I
these
did
debates.
this one. So
I think that's a good approach
do
too,
this
because
and you
we've
do.
gone the deep dive. So I think a
Now we
debate.
debate.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. You can start by explaining, but I think debate is good.
Kennedy Nixon.
Exactly.
Okay.
Frost Nixon.
No,
Kennedy.
Frost was the reporter.
That was the reporter. Okay.
What did you draw? You got Mercedes?
I got Mercedes.
And I got reverse harem.
Mercedes.
Excellent. See, we're back in our
what we should.
comfort
This is
zones.
like a normal.
Go at it.
Yeah,
Begin.
I went first, so you go first.
You know what Mercedes doesn't have? Multiple men. Do you get annoyed with Hades every once in a while because he's too brooding, he's too grumpy? Fine, go to the next one. There are multiple situations and multiple choices. If you're feeling weird one day and you're like, I don't want to deal with your ass, Lord of the Underworld, I'm going to go over here and talk to my more sunshiny boyfriend, and he's going to help me do crafts all day. That is the thing with reverse harem. The other thing is sometimes the same penis all the time gets boring. Reverse harem, you can cycle through. Or you can just have, 3 or 4 penises present at once and just like see what happens there. It allows for variety. It allows for freedom in a way that being stuck in the underworld does not allow. Emily?
You know who's not stuck in the underworld?
Rebuttal.
Persephone, because she gets 6 months out of the underworld and 6 months in the underworld. And you know what's nice? When the fates literally make someone for you. They are made Persephone for Hades. It was fated before she was even born, and Demeter tried to keep her away from him. It's a thing, but these are in retellings. And you know what's really nice in retellings is that Persephone finds her power, and she becomes confident with the help of Hades, who loves her, who is in love with her and will do whatever he wants, but he just needs to keep her safe because there are forces that are going to be against him. He's a very powerful man. Don't say a word. And you know what else is nice?
She can say something if she wants.
But I was getting
it sounds
fired up.
like Mercedes goes through a 6 months dry spell when she's up with her mom in the not underworld, and she just has to be alone. You know who never goes through a dry spell? Whoever the fuck is in her reverse
And you know
harem.
what? Sometimes you need a break because
And she does
chafing
grow.
happens.
And she does
Do you
grow
want to
because
just chafe all
because
the time?
her 4 or 5 or 6 boyfriends always have something to teach her.
Oh, that's
she
interesting.
always learns
Persephone
something.
just needs one guy. She doesn't need 5 or 6 boyfriends. She just needs one man, and then she's her own person.
but can we really expect one person to meet all of our needs?
Yeah,
Emily?
because he's a god. He's a literal lord of the underworld.
I know, but he's so grumpy all the time.
Because he's underground constantly. He doesn't get to see the sunlight. But you know what? You know what is his sunlight? Persephone. Persephone is his sunlight.
I know, but like, think of 4 men who think that you're their sunlight.
I just need one. I'm good.
Ugh, it's so boring.
You know what's not boring? Being literally made for someone.
Is that part of? We
It
never
really is.
talked about that.
Yeah. it is.
That's wow.
I don't
It was
like
fated.
that.
I don't
It was-
like that
I love
either.
that. I love it.
I like
They were meant to be. They were meant to be.
Reverse harem is all about the choice.
that.
Reverse harem is all about you are choosing to be together. You are putting in the work.
her.
You are being in a relationship.
But we're talking about retellings.
That's what I was gonna say.
No,
but
no,
in
we're talking about
retellings-
retellings.
But you were talking
in a lot
about-
of retellings, it is a fated thing of like they were meant to be together.
So that's
See,
different.
I like the choice. I like the negotiation
too.
and this group of people building something together.
But also-
is it sexy? Yes. Are they also putting in the work? Yes. They
Think
are.
of it this way, though. In all these retellings of Mercedes, he usually has to not force her, but like convince her. He has to convince her that it's a thing. So she always does have a choice, but it is going to usually be like you're gonna be sad if you're not with him, just
That's
so you
true.
know, and you're gonna be happier. It is your choice.
Whereas
though.
with mine, you're going to be sad if you're not with all four of them. But if you're all four together, if you're all five together, then you can all be puzzle pieces together and create a beautiful life.
You know
and
what's
also
nice?
have sex together all the time.
Magic is nice. I'm just gonna put it out there. Magic.
This is hard.
Either way, we both win.
No, I
because-
know. I'm just trying to think of. I think in terms of trope, I'm gonna go reverse harem.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think
All right.
it was the faded thing that really kind of made me like a.
Oh, I love
Went
that.
too
I
far.
know. And I'm not shitting on anyone's or
You're
what's it-
shit. You're yucking my yum.
I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum.
Stop
It's just not
yucking
for
my
me.
yum.
So now our final thing, fake dating versus reverse harem. Do you want to do rock paper scissors?
I was gonna say I think rock paper scissors.
So
and
whoever wins
gets to choose.
pick the one they want to do.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna do reverse harem again.
I knew you would.
All
I
right.
knew you were gonna pick that.
And you got fake dating.
Yeah.
All right, take it away.
This is hard because we've just talked about them like 3 times
Oh, I know.
already.
I think
You
again,
haven't
it's
talked
like,
about fake dating yet, though.
Yes,
I
did.
think it's more.
Oh.
I think it's gonna be more about like why is it better than the other one?
Yeah.
Like, because again, I know them both. I know their pros, but it's like why is fake dating and why is reverse harem better than the other?
I think, and I guess I've also been coming at this not like going towards you, but going towards what I like because that's what this is. Like I'm doing
That's
it
the whole point,
from
yeah.
my point of view, and I like fake dating more than reverse harem because there are more possibilities of a story, and I like having multiple ideas of like if I wasn't really into fake dating because of this reason, I know that I'm gonna like fake dating because of this reason.
For sure.
Whereas in reverse harems, it's always going to be a thing where I might not like one of the guys and they're always gonna
They're
be
always
there
gonna stay,
because
yeah.
it's always or it's 3 or more men. And that bothers me. And the big reason I've had issues with reverse harems is because I like one true pairings. I like having like a person for you. So it's hard for me to pick. Whereas fake dating, it can either be a slow burn, it can be really fast. They can learn about each other. I like the fact of like they learn throughout their experience with each other more. And usually someone has like a wall built up, and then they have to like
I love it.
They have a forced proximity shared
love a
experience
wall.
where they learn about each other, and then they become that person's like confidant or emotional support in those times of need. And I really enjoy that.
I love it.
And I especially like in fake datings because I've read a lot of them where even if it's for a different reason, if it's for like an office reason, usually a family member of some sort will come into play.
yeah.
And
There
I
always
love
is.
the like it's a mean aunt or a mean mom or something, and so and the guy is there to like comfort the girl and like stick up for her or something like that, or help themselves stick up to that family member. So like there's always going to be multiple levels, and I really enjoy that. So I think that's why fake dating. That's why you should.
That's why you
consider
should
fake
vote
dating.
for fake dating.
Yes,
For #1 trope.
Jesse Poo.
So I think I like reverse harem, and I genuinely do like reverse harem more than fake dating because I get bored with fake dating. I have read fake dating too much, and the situations that they find themselves in a lot of the time seems contrived. I have seen the scenario before. It has happened a million times, but they're in a department store now. And so I and a lot of the times as well, it's that formula of, okay, they've given in and they like each other and they're having sex secretly, but now there's got to be a conflict. So like his mom is in town and she owns the department store. And I can usually guess where a fake dating story is going in my sleep with my eyes closed.
For sure,
And
for
so I
sure.
get bored very easily. I have noped out of fake dating fics before. Reverse harem does not do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because A, if I hate one of the characters, there's going to be another character that I can hang out with. B, it is not hard for me to understand and to get on board with the fact that if there are 5 people in a relationship, there will be a conflict.
Yeah.
And usually it will be more interesting to me than fake dating because it can be unique to the relationship, it can be unique to the characters, and it's not as contrived, it's not as cookie cutter as a lot of the fake dating stuff because purely because there's a shit ton of characters. I also appreciate that it takes a lot of skill to write a good reverse harem.
It does, yeah.
Like fake dating, you can lean on a lot of bullet points. Reverse harem, to actually make characters that you care about and make dynamics that you don't go, oh, I hate all of these people. It requires a really good writer who, even like with the sex scenes, like keeping the anatomy straight so you know whose part is where at what point is very hard to do, and I respect the skill that takes. And just something for me is just I enjoy the realism of it a little bit too, where I'm like, I like that there is an element of it that requires communication for it to be at all believable, and requires a genuineness that fake dating doesn't really, because it can just lean back on an understanding that the reader would have having read those types of stories before.
I love this. You guys did such a good job. You
Thank
had
you.
to argue those so many times.
Yeah, we bet you did very well.
Thank you. So did you.
I did okay.
You did great. You guys both did great.
I get too scared. I get too nervous.
Sean,
I think ultimately, should I say my reasonings or the vote first?
I would love your reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main reasonings for this is a lot of it is like my preference,
Right.
and it's also like, well, I'm gonna say it this way: my vote is fake dating for best trope. I think it's like, because I agree with a lot of what you're saying. It's like there is something kind of contrived and something like predictable about fake dating, but I think that's kind of why I love it as a trope. Like I think it's when you see a fake dating trope, you know exactly how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Like it'd be cool if there was a twist, like something you didn't expect, but it's like I think there's something incredibly comforting of it as a trope, and I love like the like slow burn of like they're meant to be together. Like when will they figure it out? Like. And while I think that I agree, like reverse harem, and this is why it's second. Like I think that reverse harem is so cool, and it's like unique structure of a story. And I agree that like, excuse me, I had a dry mouth. The skill with which it takes to write not just one but 4 successful intimate relationships is insane. And so it's very cool. But I think ultimately I am so much more comforted by a trope that I can like see the path ahead.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately that's the one that I would lean on, and so I choose fake dating.
Fake
All right,
dating.
Yay! Best trope of the season.
Best
Fake
trope of
dating.
the season.
The
This was-
winner.
This is so fun. I love this.
Well, and now we're gonna give out some awards, right?
Yay! Yes,
Yes.
we are.
So what we did was we came up with 5 awards, and we made Sean pick who won what.
This was hard.
So we gave
Emily
her
and
the
I
list.
do not know
We don't
anything
know
about this.
She's gonna give the top 3.
Yes.
And we're gonna pick we're gonna see which one we're gonna guess, I should say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one Sean picked.
Oh,
and-
that's how we're gonna do it. Okay.
Yeah. And once you do, maybe some people will be giving acceptance speeches.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna say all 3, and you're gonna guess
Say
which
all
one
3.
was-
We will guess.
Say the
and then,
award, then all 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll guess,
And then
yeah.
tell us what it actually is.
Okay. So most true to the trope. The 3 that I picked were A Ruin of Roses, and that one was royalty / tall, dark, and handsome. Mr. Silver, fake dating, and Do I Look Lonely, fake dating.
I think Do I Look Lonely because of the joy that you had
Is the number 1
during
All right.
that one. For me, that's
For sure.
And also I think genuinely that of the fics that I used this season, I think Do I Look Lonely is the closest to the trope that I was doing at the time.
For sure.
I think I'm gonna go with Ruin of Roses because it was literally about it was like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So it was like
Absolutely.
a prince, and he was literally tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had dark features. He was just like 7 feet tall. So I just based off of
was
the
a dragon.
literal
He was a
literal
dragon
character.
man.
He was a dragon man.
For sure.
God, love that dragon man.
So I'll say you were both wrong. Number 1 was Mr. Silver, fake dating. Yeah, I thought it truly fit what like I think fake dating is, where it's like this will benefit you, this will benefit me. We have a contract, let's go. And I adored it also, but That's why I thought it was most true to the trope.
Nice. Okay, as the presenter of Mr. Silver, I will be accepting this
Absolutely.
award. It was a group effort.
Yes.
It's a whole series with all these different tropes, and Mr. Silver was just looking for a mutual, benefit thing with.
And his name
with
was
Lexi.
Golden Silver, right?
No, his name was Sterling.
Sterling.
No, Sterling
Golden. Sterling Golden.
Maybe one of the best names of the series too. So I just again, group effort. Thank you. Couldn't have done this without you. Thank you.
And then my second one was A Ruin of Roses. Third was Do I Look Lonely?
Boo,
Yeah.
but
Hey,
fine.
I love Do I Look Lonely, but it's true to the trope. Second category, best sex scene. So, gosh, I'd written down 4. I truly couldn't choose.
Can't wait for the third award. I'm so excited.
I'm just gonna go with best sex scene. The first one that I wrote down was Pull Me Under from Sports. Then we've got Make It Sweet, specifically the one bed scene. One bed. And then lastly, we've got You Can Never Trust Paperwork, specifically the Hermione reading in the library scene.
And for Pull Me Under, which one?
Oh, I think just the first time they had sex. Just the first time.
Got it.
I couldn't think of a descriptor for it, but it was just the first time.
Yeah.
I think it was the You Can Never Trust the Paperwork library scene because I remember both of us being like changed by that description.
Yeah, I
All right.
think that's what I'm going with as
Yeah.
well.
You are correct.
Yeah.
That was number 1.
It feels so good to accept an award
For best sex
for
scene.
best sex scene, and because that's really what I set out to do, is really paint a picture with my very limited words and my absolute inability to take any of them seriously when I say them out loud. And I'm just so glad that it affected you guys, and I hope that it comes up again and again and just keeps coming up for you
And keeps coming.
I hope it keeps coming.
I
Yeah.
just, at the climax of this speech, this acceptance, it just feels really good to be recognized in this way, and I appreciate you all on behalf of all of the Hermione shippers that are just thrilled right now to hear you pick this.
Absolutely.
What was because you said you picked 4? What was the 4th one?
Oh, a royal mix-up. All of them.
Oh God, what a good one.
Every single sex scene was fun. It was shenanigan-y. And
Yeah.
I was like, I can't pick just one scene from this. So I was like, I'll go with the
That's
specific
fair.
scene.
That's fair.
All right. Worst sex scene. This was actually hard.
So excited.
This was a hard one because I feel like there was some that we didn't get into as much detail about how the sex actually went. But here's what I've got. 2 weeks notice, conference room scene. Wicked Night, the car scene with the knife.
Yep.
I should say neither of those are actual sex scenes.
I just kind of went with sexy
Sexy
time.
scene, okay,
Sexy
just
time.
Sexy time scene.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Lilac, 2 penises at once.
I think it's gonna be Lilac 2 Venuses.
I think it is going to be Lilac 2 Penises at Once, but my personal one is the conference room scene because even now I'm picturing a fully transparent wall. I know that you said it was like from Despicable Me or whatever it is. Incredibles. And I know you said that, but I am just seeing her screaming
Yes.
while the entire office watches.
And I think for me personally, actually, I would pick the car scene from Wicked Night.
Wow.
Because I like the other knife play scene. I don't
Across
like
the
that
board.
one. But I think
I think, Sean, you were specifically
we
so
talked a
horrified
lot
by
about
2 penises at
it
once.
was I still have an issue because I remember bringing that up and being like, guys, we got to talk about this.
Yes. So I can say that the Lilac 2 Penises at Once was the close second.
Ooh.
Okay.
Like, because that, I mean, horrified. The first, my number 1 was 2 weeks notice, the conference room scene.
Yeah.
I just hated
Yep.
them so much.
I mean, either way, I was gonna give an acceptance speech
excuse
for
me.
this one.
Absolutely.
Do
you feel honored by this?
I feel interesting. I wish there was more description about what this conference room really looked like.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we all, except Jessica, we're picturing that 1970s wooden paneled
Nope,
conference
I was
room
picturing
from
full glass.
Incredibles.
From The Incredibles.
From
right.
The Incredibles.
No, I was
Because-
picturing full glass.
Because when I think of getting eaten out in a conference room, I think of The
Full
Incredibles. Oh, yeah, sure. And so I'm glad we could all delight in that scene together. Yeah, it's an honor.
Thank you. Okay. So this one, okay. So the next category was also quite difficult.
Okay.
Characters most likely to co-host Femmes Reading Film. So the first one, Dina from Superstore.
Yes.
Okay.
God,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yep.
second one, Ted Lasso.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
And lastly, it's a group. All of the guys from the band in Lilac.
Ooh.
I think they would add a really lovely dynamic. All right. Take it away.
Well, here's the question though, because you said Ted Lasso, but you're specifically talking about Ted Lasso in the Mercedes retelling.
yes.
I gotta go with that.
I want to go with Dina only because I love her so much.
I think that the Hades Ted Lasso would add an element of surprise and wonder that I think would be very fun for the podcast. But Dina all the way every time is wonderful.
I think Dina would be the voice of like, you're both wrong and here's why, and like bum A,
when
B,
I
C.
did knife play.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
Back in the 70s, I don't know when I did knife play, but that's my pick.
My winner was Dina.
Hey!
And I need to tell you that specifically when I was telling my boyfriend Joe about these, I said, I just really think that Dina would be like, I've brought research and I have answers.
Yes,
so your
yes,
impression is
yes.
exactly why I picked Dina.
No, that's perfect.
And Ted Lasso was the close second. So
thank you.
For
Thank
the
you.
same reason.
Yep.
All right. Our final category.
Oh, wait.
That's
Oh, I'm so
you.
sorry. Your acceptance speech.
On behalf of Dina, not that I could ever speak for her.
No. And she wouldn't want you to.
She wouldn't want me to, and so I will keep it short. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. I just want you guys to
That
be
was
like,
good.
you're
That
both
was good.
wrong. I'd like to tell you why.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And I feel like you're going to know right away for this one. Favorite love story? Do I Look Lonely? Line mates and study dates by no ordinary means of communication.
I mean, honestly, I know you said that we would know,
I don't know.
my
Well,
but
God,
I
this
don't,
makes me
because those
happy.
are all great.
This makes me really happy that you know that.
I'm gonna go with Do I Look Lonely again for the same reason I picked it for the first award, but I also adore the by no ordinary means of communication love story.
I honestly have the same thought process as you, but just to like spread it out, I'm gonna go by no ordinary means
Of communication.
and then put Do I Look Lonely second.
Okay.
All right. I also want to kind of give explanations for all of these because I think it's really cool.
Yes.
So my number one was Do I Look Lonely?
Yeah.
I literally wrote next to it, I mean.
It's the
we all
superstar.
know.
It's the superstore. First of all, it's an incredible love story in its own right, but I think also the way that writer captured the vibe and the atmosphere of that show was so beautiful, and it felt just so real. My second was Line Mates and Study Dates. I loved their dynamic. I mean, Cole was just like the most lovely man.
Yeah.
And it just felt like they both supported each other in such specific ways, and they both like lifted each other up, and there was such a playfulness with their love that was so lovely considering how sad I can't remember his name.
Asher.
Asher,
Yeah.
yes. Was, and it was just a beautiful love story. And then, yeah, by no ordinary means of communication is just such, like, it was so surprisingly adorable. And, like,
Given one is an assassin
Yes.
super spy.
And also, I
One's
think,
a big old nerd.
and also, I think when I think of James Bond, whether it's right or wrong, it's like, I think it's right. It's like he's often like a womanizer, and
Yeah.
he's just like, he's very charming, but he's not cute like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, so the way that his charm came through in those post-it notes, and also the creativity of telling a love story through post-it
Yeah.
notes
Yeah.
is so good. So yeah, those were my three.
Yay.
Okay.
This was so fun.
On behalf of Do I Look
On
Lonely?
behalf of Do I Look Lonely? I mean, I honestly wish that I could call up whoever wrote that.
Yes.
And just be like, but I just want to let you know that you moved us. Right. And that you won an award.
And that you're really good
and
at your
that
job.
you're really good at your job, and I hope that you tried to use this to get a job
Yes.
writing in Superstore.
Because she should.
Because you should.
Yes.
But I will say, on the behalf of that writer, I'm so glad that story hit you where it hit me, because
Yes.
it made me very emotional, and I think it was wonderful. And if I had to pick a story that I liked the most, even though I loved all the stories that I picked for the podcast, that one is, if not number one, a close
there.
a
It's
close
so
second,
good.
because it is so beautiful and so good and so accurate,
Yeah.
and also deeply funny.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
so funny.
And so, on behalf of clearly the best story any of us picked, no offense, Emily,
None
I
all taken.
accept
Thank you.
this award on their behalf.
the shortest award show ever.
It was
I
it was
know,
a very
it was
good
good.
award show.
That was so fun,
That
guys.
was beautiful.
So we're coming near the end of our episode.
Oh, God.
Our
End of
season one
Our time
finale.
with Sean.
God.
Do you have any like final thoughts on this whole experience?
I should have written them down. I have so many thoughts.
What's your acceptance speech?
Yeah, what's your
gosh.
acceptance speech
No,
for being
so-
a guest?
This was a joy. Like, again, if it wasn't clear already, like, there's so little I know about the fanfic and romance world. So to like be exposed to so many new things, and I have like a vocabulary now that I can fall back on, which is great. And you both just brought in such cool and different stories, and so I think that's really fun. And I can't wait to see what you pick for your next seasons, I just appreciate that you diversified them. And like, I think outside of 2 weeks notice, I loved all the stories. And I think I wasn't expecting that. And obviously you guys were like, you can hate them, but like also the way you told them was so great. And I'm just going to ramble about how much I love you too.
Please do.
We'll cut it. I'll cut it out.
Anytime.
I just love you both so much, and you're my best friends. And but no, it was really fun. And I think it's really cool that you guys are just bringing this kind of stuff. I talked about this last week with the One Direction fanfic, but I think there's something really cool about bringing this kind of stuff that we all do behind closed doors, quote, and like find some shame in. Well, sex,
reading,
but also
sex.
reading about this kind of stuff. I think often people feel ashamed of it, or they don't feel they have someone they can talk to about it. So I think it's really cool that this is being brought out in the open, and you guys make it really fun. And I had a great time.
I love you too, Sean.
We love you too. Well, I love you too, Sean.
I'm gonna miss
Not
it.
we. I don't want to speak for Jessica, but I love you too.
I said it already. I said it first.
Whatever.
I won. Yay.
Okay, wait. So, what are our final thoughts?
Oh
on the
yeah,
season?
please. Yeah, this is your guys' first season of this show.
I didn't
Well,
even-
I
how do you
will.
feel?
I
I
will
didn't prepare
say
anything.
when we had our first business lady dinner, as we called it, and started planning out this podcast, it was an absolute no-brainer who our first season guest would be. We immediately knew that it would be you.
Oh, I was gonna say we couldn't get Daniel Day-Lewis, but
Yeah.
Well, obviously. I'll take second to Daniel
We
Day-Lewis
tried
any day.
Daniel's people. Daniel's people did not respond to us, so we went. Well, Sean is great.
Yeah.
He's just not a microphone guy. He'd rather listen.
he's not a microphone guy.
He'd rather listen.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say I think I'm so happy that we went with our gut with that, and because you brought your natural joy and just open-mindedness and curiosity to it.
Thanks, God.
And I
Agreed.
think from all of that made us worth listening to.
Well, that's going to continue without me, so don't even worry about that.
I know, but
Yeah.
But I appreciate it.
But it's going to be, and we've already talked about this, it's going to be very hard to find
Yeah.
an act to follow you. And I appreciate you bringing your best and bringing your most open-minded curiosity to every single episode. It has made it a true joy to
Yeah.
like genuinely, like the last couple episodes especially, my mission has been to pick a story that fits the trope, but mainly to make Sean smile.
You guys did it. You did it so good.
Yeah.
And I can say, like, you guys also just make it easy. Like, you guys bring so much passion to this because it's something you love. So it's
we do love sex books.
You
We
do
love a good
so
slutty
it's
story.
it's really easy to be like, wow, this is great. I want to hear
Yeah.
more because you love it. So.
Yeah.
I will
and
also.
yeah.
Sorry,
No,
can I
no.
jump in?
Yeah, yeah, of
Jump
course.
in
I'll
here.
say I just love that you've been with us through the whole journey, because like, you know, episode 1's a little different than episode 8.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You've been on this journey with us as we found our footing here.
Your voices.
Not that we didn't know what we're doing, because we always know what we're fucking
You do.
doing.
You're
But
professionals.
yeah, it's been fun to like kind of create this thing with you and read silly, fun stories. And I agree, it's been fun to like try and bring a story that'll make Sean smile,
Yeah.
but also like it's been nice to like get out of my own comfort zone,
Absolutely.
or be like, okay, my first thought would be like this really dark, like disturbing mafia romance, so let's go the other way, let's
Yes.
pick something else. And it's
Yeah.
nice to like try and do that, just to like surprise myself as well as you and Jess.
Yeah.
And listener, I hope that you have that journey with us as well.
Seriously.
And I know that the last 10 minutes has been very much for us.
Yeah, it's very for us. Absolutely.
But I hope that you're still with us and enjoying this, because we want Sean's experience to be your experience as well.
Yeah, and
I
if you
hope
didn't
so.
like it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
or
also,
what are you doing
hey,
here?
stick around because it could be a totally different vibe next time.
See,
that's
for our
true.
next guest, we need to pick someone like Sean who's nicer than us,
Oh,
so that when we
yeah.
tell the audience to go fuck themselves, they can go, well, maybe not.
Hey,
no,
maybe you should think about that.
Maybe pull it back.
I think it should be someone so much meaner than both of you.
That also might be a thing.
Maybe. We'll see.
Cannot wait.
But yeah, we've got some fun holiday episodes coming up.
Yeah, so our next episode will be Halloween themed. We know that it will be released after Halloween.
But we had a
But
schedule.
We
so
had a
fucking get
schedule.
over it.
So we'll be doing a Halloween and then a Thanksgiving one.
yes, and then we're gonna take a little break,
And then we'll do Christmas
and New Year's.
and New Year's while we try to figure out
We're-
what we're how the hell we can find anyone as charismatic and kind and
Yeah.
beautiful as Sean Buckley.
with the best bangs in the world.
Best, such good bangs.
Such
Thank you
good bangs.
guys. You guys just make me feel so happy. I love this. So loved.
Well, all right.
Okay. I guess this
This
is
is it.
it.
Bye, Sean.
Bye, Sean.
Oh, God.
Love you. I love you guys too.
All right.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Everything is lewd. I could tell you things about Peter Pan and the Wizard of Oz. There's a dirty old man.